Hello, welcome to the Courage in Cannabis Speakers Bureau. My name is Dr. Bridget Cole-Williams. I am a family physician, cannabis specialist, empowerment coach, and best-selling author of Courage in Cannabis. I'm excited to have you here with us today to celebrate the launch of our widely anticipated Volume 2, Courage in Cannabis, The Triumphant Stories. So a little bit about how we got to this point. So Courage in Cannabis is a award-winning book series that we've created because in Ohio, when we started getting into the cannabis space, there was so much talk about all sorts of activist issues, different things that are going on as far as home grow or social media issues and what we're allowed to do and not allowed to do, social equity, all different aspects. And when I started seeing patients in 2018, I knew that there was more that needed to be shared. One of my first patients, as I handed over their card, said to me with tears in his eyes, "I'm taking this card. I'm taking it home to my son that's 10 years old. And I'm going to tell him that I'm not just a pothead, I'm a patient." I had a woman come to me and said, "I'm taking this card and I'm going back to church." I realized that there was so much more going on with what patients were experiencing as they entered into this medical space, let alone these patients coming back and sharing how cannabis helped and worked for them. I knew I needed to document these stories, share them. And the fact of the matter is, if we don't make an effort to look at where we got, how we got here, that history always repeats itself. So when this initially started, I actually started writing these stories down. I created a book called The Cannabis Chronicles, a marijuana physician perspective. I had someone that was interested in publishing it, and I had gathered stories from my patients over about a year's period that I thought would be helpful to others. But in that moment, I stopped. I felt that I was taking something away from the patients that I served. I felt that I was taking something away from the patients I had always served. I spent nearly 20 years at the Cleveland Clinic in family medicine and occupational medicine. So it was really time for me to look at where we were about this unique community that I had gravitated to, that I felt that I found my tribe and belonging to, and see what actually could be a better option for them. So at that period of time, COVID was on its way. And like most people during COVID, we all were doing something a little bit different. And so I was in a space where I took a step back and learned about anthologies, something that was really popular in the South at that time. I met with Dawn Leak, who was doing a book at the time and has remained my mentor and a mentor of the Courage in Cannabis series, and did a book with her, learned about the anthology process, and then realized that this is what we needed to do, that there was something special about the cannabis plant, and it would be even more impactful if people could write their own stories and benefit from them. So at the end of 2021, we launched and released Courage in Cannabis Volume 1. It was a collection of 18 stories that shared how cannabis and CBD had changed people's lives. We were a #1 bestseller on Amazon at that time, and realized that this wasn't one book that we needed to do, but truly a series, because there were so many stories out there that needed to be shared. So during this process, we pushed this book, we engaged with these people, and that book got into the hands of legislators, churchgoers. It got into the hands of celebrities, of parents, people that were trying to understand what this new phenomenon, as far as they were concerned, was and how best to deal with this and learn about it. People felt that they had a better understanding of their children and grandchildren because of the stories shared in this book. It was doctors and lawyers, caregivers and legacy market. It was educators and entrepreneurs all coming together, sharing what this plant could mean. Particularly during a time where so many people had discounted cannabis because they looked at it as not having enough research. But the fact of the matter is, all research is individual stories that are collected and made into data. So here we are with Courage in Cannabis 2, an opportunity to share again what cannabis and CBD can mean to others. This time, we went from 18 authors all the way to 39. And with this, we have sparks, people that have a voice in the cannabis space already that offer their testimonies and aspects of their experience in the cannabis space. We have an educational section that allows people to understand a little bit more about what cannabis means in a more opinion editorial aspect. We bring these people together and with the help of our sponsors, provide a voice and provide for people the power of the stories. So I'm excited to present to you today these amazing authors that have chosen to go on even a further journey today. They've decided that they wanted to know more about how they could represent themselves and represent their story in a meaningful way. So today I bring you our authors, 9 selective people that have chosen to share their stories in segments today that would be meaningful and hopefully not only touch your heart, but touch your mind. As you share in their experiences today, keep in mind that we're talking about a plant that is unique in its essence, that it is as recreational as it is medicinal. It is relieving of pain as it is of elevating emotions. We have an opportunity in this space now to be able to do business differently, to do medicine differently, to do relationships and recreational social engagement differently, if we choose to do it in the face of collaboration. I easily could have published the Cannabis Chronicles all on my own, but there is not only power in the stories, there's power in the people coming together. So please take this time today and really settle in as you hear from 9 of our authors share their experiences with this amazing plant.